We'll start with the Yeah, the first question says, the Norwegian government choose to spend the profit from oil on stocks, bonds, and property. The possibility of improving domestic infrastructure therefore was not taken. So instead of government to spend on improving infrastructure, government is spending on in the financial markets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So that means government is not spending on domestic infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, what economic concept does this best illustrate? Cost of production, there's nothing like production here. We don't have any price here, so it's not cost of production. Finite resources, when we talk about finite resources, we're talking about limited resources. Well, it's not about limited resources yet.
I think it's about opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost, yeah, because a choice was made, decision was made, and
another decision was cancelled.
It was cancelled, yeah, so it's opportunity cost. So the answer is C.
2, what will be classified by an economist as the factor of production known as land?
A discovery of oil in the south of China Sea. Because why is it a discovery of oil in the South China Sea? Mm-hmm. Discovery of oil is natural resources. That means, this is natural resources.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about land, example of land is sea. The mountain is land, the river is land. Yeah. So the answer is A.
Okay.
So go to question 3.
What is the cause of the economic problem facing all countries?
Economic problem facing all countries are the scarcity. Scarcity is the problem. Okay. And scarcity is unlimited wants in relation to limited resources. Mm-hmm. So that's okay. Question 3D. Question 4.
Which activity takes place in the tertiary sector?
So when we talk about the tertiary sector, we're talking about the service.
Mm-hmm.
The service sector. Assembly computer is part of the secondary sector.
Mm-hmm.
Giving legal service, legal advice is the tertiary sector.
Mm-hmm.
Harvesting grain is in the primary sector. Mm-hmm. Making bread is in the secondary sector. So the answer is B. Yeah.
Okay.
Question 5.
5. In a diagram, suppliers have set the price of a product at PES. Economic theory predicts that the
equilibrium price of the product
will rise to PE.
Mm-hmm. So if the normal price is as PS, now it's increasing to PE. First, they said, what is the reason? Okay, the question is what is the reason for this movement in price? Movement will be as a result of a change in price.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have to talk about a change in price here, they said the demand for the product will increase. No, there's a reason before the demand for the product, before the price would have changed from PS to PE.
Mm-hmm.
So demand for the product will increase. That's not going to be the reason why the price has increased.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if the price is increasing, demand should fall.
Yeah.
Because the law of demand says the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So demand will fall, not increase. No more of the product can be supplied now. So consumers are willing to pay higher prices. Yes, that's why firms would be able to increase their price because they felt the demand for that product is price inelastic.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
so producers could increase their price. Mm-hmm. So the answer is C.
We go for 6, which is a government approved that construction of a new railway line connecting major cities. It will be built by a private company, but he funded partially through taxation. It will create many jobs, people living on the route, worried about the harm to their environment. Which concepts are directly involved in this statement?
Excess demand and public cooperation. Hold on, please.
Question 6.
So which concepts are directly involved in this statement? They said the government approved the construction of a new railway line connecting major cities.
Mm-hmm.
It will build a private company, but be funded. It will be built by a private company, but be funded partly through taxation.
Mm-hmm.
It will create many jobs. So creation of many jobs is a private benefit because as soon as you have a job, you have income that is beneficial to you.
Okay.
That's a private benefit. But many people living on the route are worried about the harm to the environment, to their environment. This is external cost.
Okay.
Why is it external cost? It is external cost because the action that has been taken here is going to affect those that are not involved. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the answer is D.
Okay.
It's not going to be excess demand. There's public cooperation because they said government approved it. So we could say government approved it. So it's sort of public, that's government, but it's not excess demand. Government subsidies and private competition, no.
Private benefit and external cost.
It's private benefit and external cost. The answer is D,
D.
question 6 here.
7, the diagram shows the supply curve for good. What is the price elasticity of supply when the price rises from $2 to $4?
So we say price elasticity of supply is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity supplied of a product as a result of a change in price. So there's a change in price. Okay, price elasticity of supply is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity supplied of a product as a result of a change in price. So that means there's going to be a change in price based on an increase in the quantity supplied. There's going to be an increase in the quantity supplied based on an increase in price. Okay. So the formula is PES equals to Q2 minus Q1. That's percentage change in the quantity supplied over percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity supplied, that's from 20 to 30. Okay. And as a result of that, price increases from 2 to 4. So Q2 minus Q1, 30 minus 20 over 20 divided by 4 minus 2 over 2. So we have 30 minus 20 over 20, that's 10 over 20 divided by 4 minus 2 over 2, 2 over 2. So that's 10 over 20 times 2 over 2, which is 0.5. Yeah. So the answer is B.
B. 8, what is a function of a central bank?
Yeah, when you talk about the central bank of the country is in charge of, it's the apex bank. It's in charge of currency. It's in charge of all the banks in the country. Okay. So accessing deposits from the public, that's the commercial bank. That's the function of the commercial bank. Okay. Determining tax rates, that's from the government. The government determines the tax rates, not the central bank. Implementing monetary policy, that is what the central bank does. Yeah. Lending to businesses, that's the function of the commercial bank. So the answer is C. And when we talk about monetary policy, we're talking about interest rate, we're talking about money supply and exchange rate. That's what the government, the central bank does.
9, what is likely to lead to an increase in the wages of university lecturers?
So, if wages of university lecturers will increase, it would have meant as a result of more students wanting to go to the university. Do you get it? It would have meant that more students are wanting to go to the university. So the answer is D.
Okay. We go for 10. When is a trade union likely to have more power to increase its members' wages?
A trade union is a group that is formed to protect the interests of the members. Okay? So the trade union would have more power to talk about or to negotiate wage increase for its members. When imports are increasing, no, it does not affect. If import is increasing, that means the economy is not producing well. That's why you are depending on imports. When labor supply is increasing, if labor supply is increasing, that means the supply of labor is more than the demand. The wage rate will fall. It is not B. When output is increasing, yes, that means productivity is increasing. At this point in time, you could say, yes, my members need to get more pay because they've increased their output. Yeah. And when unemployment is increasing, a lot of people are losing jobs. That means there's no job. So wage rate will fall at that time too. Yeah. So the answer is C.
Here we go for 11. The table shows the percentage of income saved by different age groups. What can be concluded from the table?
So based on this table, we have 15 to 29 minus 30. That here we're talking about income saved. The negative is the saving. When you're having a negative saving, that's the saving. Okay. So we have minus 30, minus 5, plus 5, 15, plus 30, minus 10. What can we compare with this table? Over the age range shown total saving equal to total saving. No. Total savings is,
I think it is B. The 15 minus 19 age group has the lowest level of income.
No.
This is something you could see actually.
The B, 15 to 19 has the lowest level of income. How do you know the level of income? It's not said.
Income saved.
It's not, income saved is not your level of income.
Oh, okay.
So it's C.
Let's see.
50 to 64 age group saves the highest percentage of its income. So based on what we have here, the highest percentage of income saved is 30%. Nobody knows the level of income, but the income saved is what we're talking about. So the answer is C.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Very clear. Which characteristics can exist both in monopoly and in perfect competition?
A monopoly is a market structure with one producer of good in that industry. A perfect competition is a market structure where we have multiple producers of homogeneous products. But what do they have in common? That is the question.
Many buyers.
Many buyers. Both monopoly and perfect competition have more buyers. Yeah. So the answer is B. Question 13.
an industry experiences this economies of scale, what will be happening to long-run average cost and total cost?
The economies of scale is as a result of expansion that leads to an increase in the average cost of production.
Okay.
This economies is as a result of expansion that leads to an increase in the average cost of production.
Mhm.
So that means if an industry is experiencing these economies of scale, it's that meant that the long run average cost is increasing, and at the same time the total cost will increase because your average cost with your fixed cost gives your total cost. So if your average cost is increasing, your total cost will definitely increase.
Yeah.
So the answer is D. Question 14.
Yeah. A firm that sells its product for $6 a unit has the following profit cost. Which statement is correct?
Average cost is lower when 10 units are produced. When 10 units are produced, average cost is lower. No. We don't know because we don't know. We can get to know the average cost because the average cost is total cost divided by output.
Okay.
So for A, if let's check, total cost is 100, output is 10. So average cost is total cost divided by output, that's 10. Yeah. If it is 10, it's lowest. No, we can't say it's lowest. Even at 0.40, that's 0, it's lower.
It's lower.
So it's not A. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
B, a firm does not make any profit when 20 units are sold.
No.
Let me see. Let's check the price. The price is $6 and output is 20. So 6 times 20 gives us the total revenue. So total revenue is 120. Then total cost is 120. So the firm does not make any profit when 120 units are sold because total revenue equals to total cost. So the answer is B. Question 15.
Which statement about fixed cost is correct? They exist only in the long run. They include raw material and direct labor costs. They increase at the same rate as output. They must be paid even if there's no output.
Let me quickly talk about A. In the long run, all factors are variables. In the long run, all factors are what? Variables. So A is not an answer. They include raw materials and direct labor costs. No. They increase at the same rate as output. No, that is variable cost.
Okay.
Variable costs are costs that increases as the level of output increases. They must be paid even if there's no output. Yeah, that's the answer because fixed costs are costs that does not change as the level of output changes. So the answer is D, 15. Question 16.
What would a government reduce as a part of an expansionary monetary policy to increase employment? A, government spending, the money supply, the rate of interest, and employment benefits.
So when we talk about monetary policy, so monetary policy policies are. So when we talk about monetary policy are policies that are about the interest rate, exchange rate, and money supply that government could use to control the economy.
Yeah.
So when we talk about expansionary monetary policy would increase aggregate demand. That means expansionary, expanded. So that means the aggregate demand in the economy will increase. And also it might mean that interest rates should fall. That's part of expansionary monetary policy. Because when interest rate falls, it will mean that a lot of people would have motivation to take money from the bank at a lower interest rate. Okay. So let's look at the question. It said, what would the government reduce as part of expansionary monetary policy to increase employment? Government spending. If government reduces its spending, then there's nothing like expansionary there.
Yeah.
The money supply. Money must flow in the economy for expansionary.
I think it is the rate of interest.
Yeah, the rate of interest. Because if the interest rate falls, that means the cost of borrowing will fall. And if the cost of borrowing falls, investment will increase. As a result, firms' output will increase. Consumers will be able to borrow money from the bank. The aggregate demand will increase. And if aggregate demand increases, firms would want to meet up with the demand of the economy by employing more workers. So to increase employment, the rate of interest rate must reduce.
We go to 17.
Yeah, so the answer is C. Question 17.
What is an aim of government policy? Income tax, interest rates, stable prices, and employment.
One of the aims of government or policy is to reduce inflation. To reduce inflation. So it's stable prices. The answer is stable prices. Okay,
we go for 18. Come on, 18. We go for 18. The table shows that amount of tax to be paid at different weekly incomes. Which statement describes the system of income tax as income rises over this range? A, it is progressive throughout. It is proportional, then becomes progressive. It is proportional, then becomes regressive. It is regressive throughout.
So let's check. The income for 100 is 20. For 150 is 30. If you look at that, it is progressive, proportional. It is proportional from 100 to 20, 150. That's for each 50, it's 10. So each 50 is 10. So 50, 10, 100, 20, 150, 30. So it's proportional. So, but when it goes to 200, it's 36, 250 is 40. So based on this analysis, it's showing that the more income you have, the less tax you pay. So it is proportional, then becomes regressive. So the answer is
C.
Yes.
Which situation involving the building industry is more likely to be investigated by a government body set up to control restrictive practices?
Before you go there, when we talk about restrictive practices, these are ways in which firms or businesses within an industry try to put customers or consumers into vulnerability. They want to exploit customers. So government might want to check on that. So to check that, what will government do? Okay, check. A.
A builder purchasing the plot of land or development of housing.
No.
Groups of suppliers of building material agreeing to fixed prices. I think it is B.
Yeah, because when you agree to fixed prices, it means that you are putting customers into vulnerability. They won't have any other choice than to buy.
Any other choice, yeah. Go for 20. An economy is experiencing 2 consecutive
quarters of negative
economic growth. What is the economy experiencing? A budget defect?
Budget deficit. Budget deficit is as a result of import more than export. So no.
Inflation.
Inflation is a price. It's an increase. It's a persistent rise in the prices of goods and services. No.
Recession.
Recession. Yeah, that means there's decline in economic activity for 6 months. For 6 months consecutively.
So it's recession.
Yeah. Trade deficit is like export minus import. Export or imports more than exports. Export of trade, import of trade more than export of trade. Yeah.
21, what is included in the
So the answer is what? C.
C.
21 now.
Yeah, 21, what is included in the calculation of the consumer prices index, CPI?
So when you calculate your consumer price index is the measurement of the basket of food, of goods and services, the price of basket of goods and services in the economy. It's A, yeah.
Yeah. We go for 2022.
22.
We go for 22. There was a full investment spending by businesses in the 3rd quarter of 2015. What would be likely result of this? An increase in economic growth, an increase in exports, an increase in incomes, an increase in unemployment.
If investment reduces in an economy, unemployment will fall, and unemployment will increase. Why? If investment reduces, output will fall. If output falls, revenue will fall. And if revenue falls, profit will fall. So as a result, firms would need to retrench or lay off workers. And that will increase employment.
Unemployment.
Yeah, it will increase unemployment. Thank you. D, 22D.
The table shows units of output, value of output, and number of people employed in an industry over 2 years. What can be concluded from the table?
So based on the table, let me just do the analysis for you. Based on the table, we have number of employees, which is number of employed, 5,000 for 10 units, 7,000 for 21 units, 7 for 21, 8 for 32. So based on that, we can calculate our productivity. We are just going to, because it's about employment and output. So it's about productivity.
Yeah.
So let's check what happens with the productivity. For year 1, our productivity for year 1 is 10,000 divided by 10 million divided by 5,000. That's 10 divided by 5, which is 2. Year 2 is 21 divided by 7, which is 3. Year 3 is 32 divided by 8, which is 4. So that means for each year that passes by, the productivity increases. So productivity has increased. B. Is it clear?
Yep.
Okay.
We go for 24. What is found in a typical developed country? Fast rate of economic growth, high population growth, limited use of technology, significant
tertiary employment. When we talk about fast rate of economic growth, we're talking about emerging economies. These are economies that are just like, they have high growth rates in terms of development. We call them emerging economies. That's where we have the Brazil, South Africa, Nigeria, Turkey, Russia. These are emerging economies. So the answer is not A, because we're talking about developed economy. High population growth. If population is growing, these are developing economies, right? So it's not B.
Not developing.
Limited use of technology. These are developing economies. They don't use technology. So the answer is D. A developed economy has the highest population in the tertiary sector. A developed economy has what? The highest population in the tertiary sector. That makes you a developed economy. So the answer is D, 24.
We go for 25, which characteristics that a country has a significant absolute poverty.
So when I talk about absolute poverty, it means the basic needs cannot be met. That means the basic needs are not affordable. Food, clothing, and shelter,
Water,
it's not affordable.
That's B.
B, 25, B.
26.
26 now,
The government of developing country allows a multinational mining company to mine materials in order to improve the standard of the living of the local people, which action by the multinational company MNC will not lead to an improvement in the standard of living of the local people.
Building road to assist transport, that is good for the economy. Exporting mineral ore will mean that the balance of payments will improve, which is good for the economy. Providing skills training is good for the economy. Then returning profit overseas, that's one of the problem of multinationals. They come into our country, they make a lot of money, they return the profit back to their country. So the answer is D, 26.
27, a country has decided that it wants to increase free trade with its trading partners, which measure will help it achieve this objective.
Free trade means international trade. So to improve or increase international trade, you just have to increase your quota instead of reducing quota. When you reduce quota, it means you reduce the number of goods that could come into the country. But here, when you increase the quota, it means you are giving them more quantity that they could import to the country. So the answer is A. But let's look at what B is talking about. A subsidy to domestic car producers. That does not, if there's subsidy for domestic car producers, it increases output for exports, no? An embargo on car producing in other countries. An embargo will lead to trade restriction. So it's not free trade. Higher tariffs on imported goods is another method to restrict trade, which is not. So the answer is A. Is it clear?
Very clear. 28. In 2012, the UK held the Olympic Games, which attracted a large number of visitors from foreign countries, which Adam...
Foreign countries, okay?
Of the UK's current account balance will have benefited directly from this event.
When you talk about visitors going to the UK for the Olympics, it is export of service.
Okay.
We call it export of service, so it is B. Export trading services, B,
29, the
Mexican currency, the peso.
They have the same as the Philippines.
Really?
Currency.
Okay.
Has fallen in value against the US dollar. What will be the effect of this Mexican economy?
So when there is a fall, this is what we call depreciation. Depreciation of currency. When there's depreciation of currency or devaluation of currency, it will make that your currency will buy less of other countries' currency. It means other countries' currency will buy more, or that means the US dollar will buy more of peso. So if the US dollar can buy more of peso, it means that whatever Mexico is producing, it will become cheaper. So that means there will be a decrease in the price of exports in the economy. Do you understand? So that means the US dollar will buy more of the peso. That means the US dollar will buy more of goods in Mexico. So prices of exports will fall. That means exports will increase in Mexico. Number 30.
The table shows the rice yield in 4 countries. What may be concluded for this information? Bangladesh and Thailand produce the same amount of rice.
No.
Japan produces more than 3 times as much rice as Bangladesh.
No, they are producing 64. So 3 times of 20 is 60, not 64. It's not.
Japan produces a large amount of rice per hectare. Probably.
Yes. But let's check the last one.
Japan produces the largest amount of rice per person employed.
If you talk about the rice per person employed, that is output, productivity, which is not talked about here. So the answer is C. Japan produces the largest amount of rice per hectare, which is 64. So that's all about
paper 1, 2018, economics,
MayJune.
0455.
0455, thank you.
Let me get you paid. All right, get you paid for 2 more classes.
And we